is a new day, Busan. Our enemies have been defeated. When it's game time, Mecha Squad will protect our city.
Okay. Hey guys, my name is Shurmi. I have a lot of different names and I just really like lore. We got some new map reworks this season, and I wanted to break down all the lore that I got on all three of them. So, the three maps are, of course, going to be Busan for the story this season, Paraíso, and we got a little bit of stuff on Eichenwalde. However, I have done a quick glance around already at these three, and unfortunately, I haven't really noticed anything with Eichenwalde's rework in particular. This is being recorded pretty much right after the season went live, about an hour after, and I'm kind of just going to be going through everything I got on my first impression. As usual, don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoy this kind of thing and just hear me rattle on about lore, but also, don't forget to comment if I've missed anything. These are really new, so there's going to be a lot of stuff that I haven't seen yet, and of course, you guys probably will have seen by the time this goes live. So, yeah, don't forget to let each other know all the lore stuff you found on the map reworks, but let's go ahead and get started by going into the first of these reworks, being Busan, because that's obviously the most important one. Alright, so I've gone ahead and put us in spectator mode for this because I just think it'll be easier to fly around, but we will be breaking this down from the spawn rooms on each of the maps, so let's go to the spawn first. Obviously, on this side of the Busan area, nothing's really changed inside. It's still the karaoke, except for this, which I actually missed on the first time I went through here. They've added a little junker ducky to basically be singing karaoke, so those dang junkers have gotten up to some crazy hijinks again, I guess. But that's kind of the biggest thing inside here that I noticed, was just this guy, this little dude. I mean, look at this guy, OMG, look at him. He's so cute, he's so duck. And then, of course, this is in the other spawn as well, but there are junker weapons kind of just strung about the place now. So yeah, nothing really crazy outside of the spawn rooms, but as we go outside, whoa, look at this! The junkers have invaded Busan. Yeah, obviously we all knew this was coming if you've been paying attention to the lore recently and also all the trailers, but we actually get some pretty cool stuff. If you go up to some of these bombs, they're actually ticking, like they do in Junkertown, like here. Yeah, you can kind of hear it there, but yeah. So the Junkers have invaded, and a lot of their bombs and stuff are obviously kind of mismatched and misplaced because of everything going on in Australia. So in Australia, the Junkers are pretty much just scavengers, right? So a lot of their tech is like sea mines like this that are probably from the Crisis, and normal ones that are duds that didn't go off, like this missile. So that's why you're going to be seeing these around the map specifically, because a lot of these are duds and didn't go off, or they're delayed. Of course, we also have the Junkers kind of like destroying the street out here almost, and there's a blockade forming, as well as like the Junkers just aesthetic of tires and stuff. They kind of redecorated Busan a bit, ironically enough, as they went through. You can tell they really didn't like the place. But the next big thing I guess we can just go right to is Junkrat's tire, the rip tire. So this I don't think has a ton of lore significance outright, but I think it is important because it does show Junkrat and Roadhog have been here. Now there's a couple interactions people have found already where this is already the case, but I thought I'd bring that up as well because, well, everybody's really confused where they stand with the Queen. Are they on her side? Are they against her? Is she cool with them? Well, now we have a better idea. So yeah, does seim like they're going to be here as well. Well, as I was recording that last segment, the server crashed on me, so we're going to be cutting back over there real quick, and I've decided to go into first person to get a little bit more of the first person perspective of things going on. But yeah, so as we kind of go down the street here, you can see a lot of the shops are closed down because of everything with the Junkers, but also the Junkers have left a lot of graffiti all over the place. Yeah, and a lot of these are graffiti and stuff from Junkertown, so it makes sense that it's here. However, something I do want to point out is this. So this is a new thing on this map. I'm not really sure what this is teasing or hinting at, but Splash Festival is something coming up apparently in Busan. If this is a thing, let me know. I haven't looked into this at all. I don't know what this could be, but this is something that's everywhere on this map, specifically on the city version of Busan. Oh man. I hope that guy gets a new car. But yeah, so you can see all of these like splash festival things here. That's going to be a thing maybe that they're teasing, or it could just show that the world's moving forward a bit and a bit of time has passed since Busan was actually a map. Aside from that, look at the croissants and the sandwiches. I'm really hungry as I'm recording this. But anyways, yeah, so there's all of that, and you can kind of see just general junker mayhem. Like there's bullet wounds and, well, wounds, but bullet holes and kind of the marks of like moving tires or the heavy vehicles almost. And we kind of come out to the main plaza. So the first thing that we should probably point out here is, of course, the movie poster. It's kind of all staticky now. It's kind of shaking a bit as everything's kind of gone crazy around it. And as we head inside, you can see the Junker Queen's knife there. Another boom. And back at you, mate, you know, for the knife. But this is probably my favorite part of this map rework, is the inside theater section here. So if you look around, you can see a poster for Wrecking Ball and a poster for the Queen. So it looks like the Junkers have taken over the theater and almost turned it into an arena. Maybe they've changed it, and maybe instead of a movie theater, there's battles going on inside. Or, alternatively, maybe they're trying to hype themselves up as movie stars, and this is kind of the story that's going on here. And you can see the Pachamari stuff, and they've gotten rid of the ticket box, so you can just head right in, but you can't because, well, you know, it's all boarded off. And there's a microphone down here. Maybe the fights are happening right here, and someone is usually talking right here, or maybe you have to get entry to go in. But I thought this was a really fun thing. I thought this was cute, just seeing this, and this was my favorite part of the map. But yeah, and of course we have more just metal. I don't know what that other thing is. It's meat. Sorry, meat something, meat pieces or something. And then up here is the same thing. This is like a new little section they've added. And then we can go on down here and see they've boarded off the subway, and everything right here is messed up. So everything's out of whack now. We have no idea when anything's leaving or when anything's going. Oh, that lens flare is crazy. But yeah, and we can kind of come around here and get this high ground now, obviously. This is one of the things they've talked about a lot, but I'm probably not going to be discussing it too much. Oh, and then there's the train. So you might have caught it there, but the train has spikes on it, kind of showing maybe the Junkers have hijacked it, and they're using it to move stuff through the city. That's my best guess. Or it could just be a cosmetic flare. And out in the distance, while I say that, you can see the Junker airships from the Hero trailer are kind of moving around. So I believe the story of why the Junker airship is even here still, of this map and everything going on with it, is the Junkers are obviously still here. Oh, that almost spooked me a bit. But yeah, the Junkers are still here, obviously, but D.mon doesn't really know how to get into the airship, or the Mecha Squad doesn't really know how to get into the airship, I assume. It's kind of confusing there, because they're currently holding Wrecking Ball hostage or trying to get information out of him. So they're trying to find out where the Junkers went, and I would assume they just went into the ship, but maybe not. So we're going to have to see how that unfolds as the season goes on. However, yeah, this is kind of the general vibe of the map has changed a bit, and now the Junkers are invading out there, which I think is pretty neat. And of course, before I forget, down in the middle, you can see D.mon is giving out her, like, address to everyone in Busan. So we know for a fact the people of Busan were kind of confused and crazed and running amok after everything, so it does seem like they're trying to use Mecha Squad here to kind of calm people down. However, it does seem like as well the EMP is gone and they're talking about it. That's going to be important for next season. Mark my words. That EMP is like my MacGuffin at this point. I keep going back to it in every video. But yes, the EMP is gone, and we'll be talking about that more when we go to Mecha Base. However, as we head on deeper within, it's kind of just mirroring, and I did notice as well, they're using a lot of assets from everything with the the Neon Junction map, like this guy. He's from the Neon Junction map, and there's a couple things on Mecha Base as well that kind of show that. However, as we continue to go through the city, you can just see there's more wreckage, more carnage, the iconic Pachamari with a knife, so scary, OMG. And there's also one bit of I believe it's down here. Yeah. I don't know what this says. It says something for cars, I think. It's like, what's the purpose of cars or something, I'm assuming is the joke, because the junkers would be like, what the heck is this? Which, yeah, if anybody can, like, translate that for me, I would really appreciate it, because I have no idea what it says. Sorry. And, Six Eyes Tad, or Six Eyes, Tald? I think Tad, Six Eyes Tad was here, probably. A junker, obviously. And, yeah, then we kind of go down here, and of course, another ducky. Oh, bye, ducky. But yeah, another ducky there, and we continue on through the city, seeing that same graffiti as before. The destruction continues, and the pig. Yes, the pig to go with the cow. The iconic pig, some might say. And then we kind of come in here, and things are a bit more back to normal. So that is the biggest thing with this map, and of course this, but we're going to be talking about the other two sections because Mecha Base itself is really important as well, and we'll kind of be doing a little update on the Shrine map too, because there isn't a ton there, but enough to talk about. Alright, and we are in the Mecha Base. So first thing that I noticed immediately is right here. The sign has changed. So before this, the sign used to just be right here saying they were making an EMP bomb to attack the Kishin. That's been moved to right here. And the chairs have been moved as well to face the wall here. So you can have like blah, 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 blah. Oh, look at the Kishin. The Kishin are so crazy. Oh my gosh. And that's something I want to point out as well, real quick. The Kishin kind of won by doing nothing. So the Junkers really took care of everything. They took care of a lot, so would not be surprised if the Kishin are going to be on the move next year, and we'll see how that goes, because they've been oddly quiet for a while. But anyways, as we go deeper into the Mecha Base itself, the EMP has been stolen. Ooh, yeah. So we know Vendetta is the one who stole this. I thought it was going to be the Junkers, but she used the Junkers as a distraction. Another thing I thought might happen, and it's missing. So this is going to be a very important thing for next season. It's probably going to be the way they get into the Icelandic prison, if I had to guess. And we'll probably be seeing that in BlizzCon in like a month, which is crazy to say. Speaking of, I'll be going to BlizzCon. I'm going to be talking about it more in a little bit on other socials and stuff, so keep an eye out for that. And maybe we can do a little meet and greet for those who are going. It'd be really cool to catch up with a lot of the lore heads and people I see in the comments yapping with me. So, yeah. As we go through the map, you can see where D.mon's mech, D.mon, was being built. I keep calling her D.mon, but her name is Yuna. But, you know, D.mon was being built, or rebuilt, I guess. And then we can drop down below to see it's missing now. Ooh, I wonder where it is. Maybe we're going to get a hero out of it. Boy, do I have news for you. But, yeah. But yeah, so that is everything with them here, and we can continue onwards. Nothing has really changed with this section of the map. A lot of the map changes on this side aren't really lore focused, they're more just expanding things outward from what I've seen. But how could I ever forget the iconic D.mon room, which I'm going to have to switch teams for because I'm a fool, and I didn't predict this far ahead. Sorry, past me. But yeah, actually, let's just be D.mon. I don't know why I wasn't D.mon already. But yeah, so obviously D.va's room is the same, but D.mon's room is a lot bigger, obviously. It's a little bit bigger. You can see a lot of those Neon Junction Busan like toys and kind of statue of the Gundam there. We do know from some concept art and also developers that D.mon builds mecha. She builds Gundams, so like you can see it here. And also that I guess she really likes croissant. And also look, the Jetpack Cat plush or pillow. I saw somebody on Twitter saying like, this is ridiculous. This cat already has merch in universe, and I think that's really funny. So that's what I run with. Yeah, that Overwatch is like merchandising it like they did with Winston, which I think is goofy. But yeah, her room kind of reflects her character a bit more. So we get to see, obviously this side is more her gamer culture and more her hobbies, you know, her whole streamer setup and how she prefers to stream with her hands only. They've kind of talked about that in another interview, I believe. I saw it going around. And of course, the mecha paint job over there, and we kind of move around to the gun rack, where she's kind of showing her more militaristic side now and kind of more soldier side, because a lot of D.mon and the mecha squad were soldiers. They were brought in as children, well, I say children, but teenagers, to fight the Kishin in their mechs. So they've been doing this for a while, and obviously that's going to take a toll and kind of change these people's worldviews a bit. So yeah. I am curious which one of these guys will be next. I'm assuming we'll be getting more in the future, and I'm excited to see more of their personalities through more than just the in-game event. Obviously, there's an event going on right now in-game talking about all of their personalities, and yeah, I haven't really got to play too far yet and get any of the lore, but I'll probably be talking about it more when I do. So, yeah.
Rushing through.
And of course, I think that's all the major stuff I found with this map. Please let me know if I missed anything. Like I said with this one I think is maybe one I missed some stuff on or didn't take too much of a glance at, because I was really focused with so much on this first day. But yeah, now we're gonna go to the temple part and just kind of talk about some of the smaller things on there, because there's only like one or two little things there I want to mention. Oh, I'm not the right hero. There we go. I'm D.mon now. Yes, the most masculine, like, male voice for D.mon. But anyways, yes. So, we are here at the temple. Not a lot has changed aside from the skybox here, unfortunately. I was kind of hoping there would be a little teaser for maybe the Junkers and everything going on with them here, but most of this stuff has been more focused on balance reworks and kind of the health of the map, which is honestly fine. I think the other two do a really good job at showing off D.mon and Busan's kind of wreckage. The biggest part to me is just everything going on down here. The iconic fish right here, and how they've opened this area up a bit, leading into this kind of shrine almost thing. This is probably the extent of the cool stuff I found on this part of the map, or I shouldn't say cool, but most interesting stuff. This map is pretty empty for the most part, but I did want to mention it here in this video just to, like, you know, recap everybody a bit on why I didn't really talk about it too much, because I know how people work and people will point out that I didn't talk about it. So yeah, this was the Busan rework and all the stuff I found on it. However, pause, we have another one to talk about. We have Paraíso to talk about, because there's a couple really cool things added on there, and we'll kind of round this out with Eichenwalde as well at the end. I bet you thought I was going to play Lucio, but no! Actually, I probably should, because there's a thing that happens with this map that we'll talk about in a bit. But yeah, so Paraíso. So not much has changed out front. Most of the changes are actually deeper within. But of course the elevator here. A lot of elevators now. You can have a pool right here, and we get to see the iconic, truly iconic to everyone, and me included, Vishkar sign that's been here for a very long time. This thing has been on this map for like forever, so won't go too deep into it. Most of this out here is pretty much the same until you get to the first point, that included. I always think that's new for some reason, but that's been there for a long time. You get to the Domina statue. So, little info on this, why she's doing this. So, there's a couple places in lore that we know Vishkar is keeping an eye on because of their technology. One is Paraíso and everything that's going on here in the Rebellion. Another place is London. We've seen this in the Thames District map in Stadium, but she had a similar statue put there, basically doing a generous foundation to everything going on there, and kind of trying to, appease or get the government on her side, or the people in charge on her side, while the people below don't really know what's going on. So that's why Domina has erected a statue of herself here as well. So like this roughly translates to a generous donation by Varios Singhani or Singhwani, or however you pronounce her last name. I'm not really sure off the top of my head, but yeah, that's everything with the Domina statue. And you can see up at the top, there's like a little Vishkar crystal thing. I went up to it. It does make like a little Vishkar noises, which I thought was pretty cool. Seeing and hearing that is pretty neat. And yeah, so that's kind of the biggest thing that changes on this side of the map, is mainly that. I didn't find anything else on this side. I do like all the little Lucio stuff all over the map now. You can really feel the Lucio like pressure or appearance on this map a lot more, I think. There's a lot more stuff, and obviously his club has been completely revamped, but there's a lot more stuff that we'll be able to see in a bit here. And I was going to talk about this later, but I didn't actually know this was here. There's Vishkar propaganda saying no Vishkar. That's inside the club and on this side of the map, I guess. So I'll probably be focusing on that a bit more when we get to it in a bit. But yeah, revolution, you know, the whole thing, the whole shebang. But yeah, as we go deeper within, I don't play Lucio like ever, and it's day one, I haven't played in a little bit. So we can kind of go deeper within, and this building's also been changed, and we have some iconic cat pictures. And some other cool images around here. Got the meat. But, and we've got more Lucio propaganda stuff all over the map. As you can see, like I said, a lot of Lucio propaganda stuff. They were just celebrating as well. There's confetti everywhere, and people are cheering on. Nothing's really changed in that spawn room, as far as I can remember. So I won't be looking into there, and I don't believe anything's changed in the gondola section over here either. So the last place we really gotta look is over here. Yeah, so Lucio's club, which you can see outside, Club Celestia, or however you pronounce it, has been completely revamped. I think this is a much cooler look and a much better look for the club, and just giving Lucio a little bit more love. After all, this is his place, you know, this is his DJ hangout, this is his kind of area, so you can see that all over. With the cool chairs and people relaxing, to the cargo elevator here. How the story of this map is really neat, and the kind of small stuff like this cargo elevator shows how they've really made this place their home. Lucio and his people who are with him and supporting him. And I think that's really cool. You can see how they've really built into the city and kind of just changed all the architecture around them to really suit what they need. This is probably one of my favorite little details, is the water and the lily pads on this counter here. And like they have a glass on top of it. I think that's just a really cool thing I haven't really seen in many other media or anything really. And of course, before I forget, the frogs! The frogs! OMG, you can hear them ribbiting and stuff. Yes! Look at them go! Yeah, it's really cool to see these guys. They were on Atlas originally. Like, I believe there's frogs on there. And seeing them come back is just really cool. You know, it's really neat. So, I do like that, like, frog aesthetic with Lucio is kind of ever-evolving once more. And then we get to the main club floor, which I'm going to actually have to give myself more ultimate on Lucio real quick. Okay, I had to reset the map and everything to get the cooldown going, and also to swap it so we can see the final defender spawn room over in the back. But yeah, so there is a couple things here specifically. Let's see if I can get there and then have the ult kind of come off cooldown. If you look to the top of the club, it should. Yeah. Makes a little noise, and the club kind of like hypes up as Lucio ults, and I think that's a really cool detail, obviously. I thought that was really neat when I saw it for the first time, and I think a trailer that they posted, I saw them and I was like, oh wait. And yeah. And this area, now I'm not sure if this is exactly the area, but this area does look like the PvE area for the invasion missions, that first set of invasion missions. Unsure why. Maybe it is that area and they've kind of repurposed it, but the spawn room is kind of evolved and has the entire Lucio DJ setup now and everything there. So yeah, all this stuff was already here originally. Like this guy, he's been here for a while, but yeah, I thought it was really cool stuff to point out. And of course, also I should mention, in all the spawns, they have little teases and nods to different Lucio skins as well, which I thought was pretty cool. A little nice detail. But yeah, that is everything I noticed otherwise on this rework. Now, I'm unsure if this is going to be leading to a Vishkar story in the future, or if this was just like a fun thing that they wanted to do because the map was going to be reworked no matter what. I'm leaning towards the second right now because a Vishkar rework doesn't really, or a Vishkar story doesn't really make sense in the narrative, but who knows, you know, it could be anything, so yeah. And lastly, I'll talk about the one thing I found with Eichenwalde that you guys probably already know. Alright, well,
together, win together.
Eichenwalde is, of course, one of my favorite maps, because Bastion is my boy, and I love him. and he's a very, very awesome lad. So I was really wondering what they were going to do to this map and if there was going to be any new lore added. I don't believe there's any new lore, as far as I know. I haven't seen anything new. Please let me know if you guys find anything. The only thing that I found here is, of course, the jump pad. I was wondering if they were gonna like tease Torbjorn's trying to rebuild the city or something by having this Torbjorn themed jump pad here, but I don't believe it's happening or anything with it. I think Eichenwalde is just allowed to rest in time for the time being, and nothing's really changed. They've opened up a couple smaller doors on the map, and they've added like some walls over there, but for the most part, everything here is pretty much how we expected it to be. So, yeah. This is, I think, the only section that I remember seeing that was going, whoa, it's a little new. This stuff's been here for a while. I am so sorry, Tubas. But, yeah. So, yeah. Anyways, that was my quick little map tour of all the lore I found on the map reworks. What did you guys like about these map reworks? Is there anything I missed? And also, where do you think the story is going to be going thanks to these reworks? Do you think we're going to be getting a Vishkar season? Do you think we're going to be getting the EMP device used almost immediately at BlizzCon? Or maybe something more? My name is Shroomy. That's all I've got in this one. Hopefully they update King's Row next and we get a little case reference, you know? But anyways, that's all from me. And I'll see you guys in my next video, which should be talking about either the stuff we've gotten this season or a little special one I've been working on in the background. Anyways, that's it from me. I'll see ya. Bye.